Good afternoon, E39 Source. Today we will be replacing the spark plugs on an E39 540i6 with the M62 TUB44 engine. To get started on this process, we first need to remove the engine cover. Now to do so, just push these 4 plugs in simultaneously. I don't care how you manage to do that, just do that, and then pull the engine cover off and remove it from the vehicle. Once that is removed, we can go ahead and remove these covers here on each side by removing these little screw cap covers here with a tiny flathead screwdriver. There's a little notch down here. Go ahead, slip it in there, pry, and don't drop this down inside your engine bay. Once we get those caps off, we can go ahead and remove 4 10mm bolts here. One there, one on the back, one there, and one on the back. Once you remove those bolts, these covers will come right off. Now the next step is to remove this little clip here, just like that, and then pull this plug out this direction and place that right there. Now, what we are going to have to do is we are going to have to do that 7 more times, 3 on that side, 4 on that side, and then remove each of these bolts right here for each spark plug. Now, once we pull these off, we will have access to our spark plugs. Now, once we have that off, we can go ahead and retrieve our spark plug. Now what you're going to need is an extension and a 5/8 inch spark plug wrench, deep well. Now, just go in here and remove the spark plugs by turning counterclockwise. When you're reinstalling the plug, you're going to want to make sure that you don't over-tighten it. Now, also don't strip the threads. Make sure that you are very careful with it. These are aluminum blocks and they can be stripped out. So just be careful with what you're doing. Take extra time to make sure you know what you're doing. Now, since I hand tightened that, now I'm going to go grab my ratchet and tighten it down the rest of the way. Now, I am not using a torque wrench, and a lot of you guys will say, "Oh, why aren't you using a torque wrench?" Well, I have a pretty good idea of what torques are by hand. If you want to know the exact torque specification, I will leave a annotation down in the video description with the exact torque for the spark plugs for an M62 engine. Now, I'm going to get back to doing this. I'm on spark plug 5, 3 to go. Once you get all your spark plugs back in and everything tightened up, you can go ahead, throw your covers back on, and then throw your engine cover back on, and you should be ready to go. Once you have everything buttoned up, you can go ahead, start your car, enjoy here, and look at your old spark plugs. That's burning oil. Yep, exactly. That's what fell into the cylinders because I used to have a valve cover leak. That's since been fixed, but the oil was still in there. Now I don't have to worry about that next time. Guys, this is just a quick little add-on that I want to actually ask a few opinions of yours. A lot of people on E39 Source are really intelligent when it comes to these cars, and they really know what they're talking about. And here's something that's not really in my alley as far as engine work. I'm not really an engine guy. I do some basic maintenance. I've replaced the camshaft position sensors. I've done spark plugs. I've done a few other things. I actually had some pretty major oil leaks repaired a few months ago. You can see the engine has been degreased and a few things like that. I've also replaced the power steering hoses. But as far as engine work is concerned internally in the engine, I don't really know a whole lot about it. So, I have a few weird noises coming from my engine. This is a very high mileage E39 540, by the way. It's up at 229,000 now. So I'm going to go ahead and start the vehicle for you guys and let you hear it. Now, here's what it sounds like when the engine is running. There's a very slight vibration in the engine. Let's see if you can see that. It's hard to tell. And it sounds like there's almost like a tiny little bit of grinding noise inside the engine, and when you touch these, it feels like almost like there's something slapping up against something inside there. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments down below. I realize that these are older engines and they're going to make some noise, but if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear it. Thanks guys, see you in the next one, and hope you can help. Bye-bye.